Now to the major cleanup underway in West Hollywood today after that massive early morning water break.
We have our NBC4 drone giving us a new vantage point of the break that opened up a sinkhole actually along Sunset Boulevard. For roughly 4 hours, water rushed down the streets, sweeping away cars and flooding parking lots.
And since the water's been shut off, we've actually seen this buckled roads, sidewalks buckled as well, and flooded out buildings and cars. We have team coverage as people and businesses try to assess the extent of the damage out there. We're going to start right now with NBC4's Karma Dickerson with more on how this is impacting the area and LA Metro. Karma.
Well, coming to us here at Sunset and Holloway, where the water main break started, you can just see over my shoulder. This is what the roadway looks like. We were going to show you a massive sinkhole. Instead, we are showing you the heavy equipment trying to clean up this area and fill the sinkhole. Again, this is Sunset Boulevard, Holloway, right where that water main broke. Now, this water main broke around just before 3 this morning. It's about 4 hours to get the water turned off, and that water went spilling in all directions out across Sunset, and not just the main thoroughfares, down side streets. And so we went down those side streets to show you what happened from there and where we stand now. So just south of the big sinkhole, that's where all the water started flowing down Palm. Now, right there on the other side of the road, that was a close call for 2 men. We're told that they were there as the sidewalk essentially collapsed. The good news is they're safe, they're okay. Nevertheless, it shows the kind of danger that we're dealing with in this community. Throughout the early morning and day, it's been all hands on deck for utilities and first responders. DWP handling the water main aspect of things, and fire crews, LA County Fire, going property to property, trying to determine what kind of damage there is and what kind of work they need to do to clean things out. LA County Sheriff trying to keep order and, of course, deal with the fact that we have massive roadway blocks. A massive dewatering is underway. You can see some of it happening right here, the effort by the fire department and these private companies to pull the water out of the properties, out of the garages, and get it into the storm drains.
This morning's flooding making it to LA Metro's maintenance yard, closing the facility and triggering delays and detours on a number of bus lines.
The pipe that broke was 110 years old. Particularly, they noted that during the early morning hours and the late night is when these pipes have the most pressure because there's less pull on those resources. So that's when the maximum force of the water is going through these pipes. This pipe was 36 inches wide. It's estimated that 100,000 gallons of water was going through each minute.
This is one of the challenges when our infrastructure is so old.
When it's safe, we'll go in, we'll pump the water out of the hole that we have, we'll make an assessment. That will determine then how long will it take us to make the repairs.
And as you heard there, crews still aren't sure just how long this is going to take. When it comes to the side streets, they're saying they expect it to go well through the rush hour area. But when we're talking about the big sinkhole that is right there at Sunset and Holloway, you can imagine this is a major thoroughfare. We're going into a weekend, people driving through Hollywood, this section of West Hollywood. It is going to be some time. So impacts on Sunset, also on Santa Monica. This section of the area, you're going to want to keep a wide berth. Reporting live, I'm Karma Dickerson, NBC4 News.
Carmen, thank you for that. This water was so powerful out there today. It also carried debris, including large slabs or chunks of concrete down the streets. In fact, look at this. Several of these slabs got stuck under this Tesla here. For roughly 4 hours today, that water flooded from the underground parking areas of several apartment buildings. Firefighters have been working all day to pump out all that water. In some cases, it was several feet high. And still, once the water is drained, many people have to go back in and shovel out their cars, shovel out all that mud, the gravel, and branches. NBC4's Camilla Rambaldi continues our coverage right now. Camilla.
Yeah, hi, Colleen. The damage here is absolutely significant. We're at the bottom of Palm Avenue right now, right by some of the garages that got completely flooded this morning. Let me give you a closer look at the aftermath here. As you mentioned, fire crews have been here all morning long into the afternoon, pumping all of this water out from this garage. They brought in this extra pump here, and you can see from the mud lines on the wall here, this just gives you an idea of how much water accumulated here this morning, leaving cars trapped inside.
and I was just shocked. I couldn't believe it. The amount of water that was coming down the hill was just absolutely insane.
Parked cars and sidewalks damaged, garages flooded, and cars submerged in water. This is what people who live on Palm Avenue in West Hollywood woke up to this morning after a massive water main break in the area.
What's going through your mind right now?
I luckily have flood coverage, and my insurance, so that's helpful, but I was almost done paying off my car.
Adrian Rios Ojeda is one of the neighbors whose car is trapped in a flooded garage.
The water's receded a lot, but earlier it covered the whole thing. And I have an SUV, so it's almost 6 feet tall.
He says the chaos all started at about 6 this morning when he woke up.
The water was so high we couldn't even get through. It was too late.
Some were able to get their cars out in time.
I moved my car to the next street because I knew it was better than living it on this street.
Ken Allen says he first noticed the water at about 3 in the morning.
I looked out my front window, looked down, and thought, oh, we have a river outside.
LA County fire crews have been working around the clock, pumping the water out from the garages.
We're going to be able to pull up to about 400 GPM, gallons a minute, or as low as 150 gallons a minute. We take your safety, the safety of the West Hollywood community very seriously. That we're going to be out here as long as we need to make sure that all this water is out and to make sure that the buildings are structurally safe to be in.
A neighborhood turned into a river.
I can see like the cars moved around, like debris just hitting the cars and washing things away.
One of them, we didn't wake up in time, and so by the time he came out, we were banging on his door, but he didn't wake up, so his car is now totaled.
People who live here are now trying to navigate through the cleanup.
I'm hoping the city can respond and work with insurances or things like that, because this is Los Angeles. We need our cars.
Yeah, I'm back out here live. Another look at this garage right now. A lot more progress has been made compared to what this looked like in the noon hour. You can just see more of the debris inside and some of the cars as well that have been trapped here. Fire officials tell me that the power and the water have been restored for all the buildings here on Palm Avenue as crews continue working here and pumping the rest of this water out. And LADWP crews are also taking claim forms for people that have been impacted by this massive water main break. Again, the cleanup process here is still underway, and it will continue throughout the rest of this day. I'll go ahead and send it back to you. We're live in West Hollywood. Camilla Rambaldi, NBC4 News.
All right, a busy scene, Camilla. Thank you, and stay with NBC4 as we follow the latest out of West Hollywood. Right now on NBCLA.com and the NBCLA app, you can find resources if you live or work in that area.